Squid Game
become the biggest ever TV launch.
900 million in revenue. Number 1 in 93 countries. 60.1 million views in just 3 days. 106.3 million views in just 2 weeks. And yet, it all started with one man. Broke, doubted, and rejected. But this man never stopped. Because to him it wasn't just a script. In the early 2010s, one man was so broke, he sold his only laptop, just $675, to buy food. This wasn't some amateur. He has written acclaimed films, silenced Miss Granny. But when he handed studios his next script, they wouldn't even read it. Too violent. Too grotesque. Too unrealistic. The first draft was finished in 2009. For a decade it gathered dust in a drawer. But he kept going, writing while hungry, watching the people around him sink deeper into debt. Families crushed under the weight of inequality, a city aging under pressure. He lived in Sangmun-dong, a working-class neighborhood in Seoul, and while others gave up, he sat in tiny cafes, devouring gritty survival stories like Battle Royale and Kaiji. He imagined himself inside those deadly worlds, navigating their intense survivalist worlds. Fast forward to 2016. Netflix began expanding into South Korea, Singapore, and Taiwan. They needed bold, local content, and finally, someone said yes to his dusty script. The budget, just $21.4 million. Marketing, minimal. Expectations, low. But when the show premiered on September 17, 2021, it didn't just break out, it exploded. In 4 weeks, it became Netflix's most watched series, beating Bridgerton with over 142 million households and 1.65 billion watched hours. By 2025, the series had become a $900 million empire and topped charts in 93 countries, becoming the most watched series and cultural sensation. And the man behind it was Hwang Dong-hyuk, the father of Squid Game. Why 2021 was the perfect storm. The pandemic hit. People were stuck at home, experiencing a whole bunch of emotions. Anxious, isolated, angry. Jobs vanished. Bills piled up. Inequality deepened. It started screaming from every headline. Debt, housing, healthcare, injustice. A twisted Netflix series about people drowning in loans offered one last shot at survival if they were willing to risk everything. If Squid Game had launched in 2010, it might have slipped under the radar. But in 2021, it hit like a lightning bolt. Because people didn't just watch it, they saw themselves in it. They felt it. Gi-hun, the series' broken yet kind-hearted protagonist, mirrors Hwang's own struggles, while Cho Sang-woo symbolizes the immense societal pressure Hwang felt during his time at Seoul National University. From the opening scene, Dakji in the subway, Squid Game showed its cards. He thinks he has a choice. He doesn't. Gi-hun gets slapped for money, but he smiles through the pain. That's not just a gimmick, it's capitalism's grin. It sells exploitation as opportunity. And then the twist. Players return to the game willingly. That's the most disturbing part. They know the cost. They saw how players were eliminated, but their real life is worse, so even being given a choice to leave, the majority has returned to the game. Hwang didn't need to invent a villain, he just had to show the system. Red light, green light wasn't just creepy, it was specific. The doll was modelled after a character from 1970s Korean school books. The Dalgona candy game? A real childhood snack sold by street vendors to this day. Hwang introduced Korean culture through these games, embedding local memories into global nightmares. Nostalgia became weaponized. The set design added another layer. Bunk beds stacked like a military barracks. Coffins wrapped in pink bows. Everything was intentional. Aesthetic became architecture. Beauty became bait. Dalgona challenges went viral. Halloween costumes flooded the streets. Real-life versions of the games appeared around the world. Design made it unforgettable. Culture made it universal. Other shows like Alice in Borderland or Battle Royale lock their characters in a life-or-death game with no way out. They were trapped. But Squid Game does something different. It gives the players choices. They can vote to stop the game. Is that true? When your rent's overdue and your mother's in the hospital, what does choice even mean? That's what made Squid Game so disturbing. It wasn't just about games or gore. It was about the illusion of freedom in a world rigged by money and survival. There were no puzzles to solve, just a brutal reminder that for many people, poverty is the real trap and the most dangerous game of all. Gi-hun wins, but he was traumatized. He didn't even touch his prize money. Season 2 and 3 dig deeper. He can't let it go. He wants to end the game for good. This isn't a redemption arc, it's a breakdown. He's haunted not by what he did, but by the fact that he lived. Hwang uses Gi-hun to explore something rarely shown on screen, what surviving a broken system does to the soul. Squid Game didn't just go viral, it was engineered to. It was a strategy. Netflix didn't just release a show, they launched an experience. Before season 3 even dropped, parades filled the streets of Seoul. Giant red light, green light dolls appeared in cities across the world. TikTok exploded with Dalgona challenges, pop-ups, cosplay, memes, and the genius? Anyone could join in. Red light, green light, Dalgona candy, marbles, simple, nostalgic games that transcended language, culture, age. No need for explanation, you already knew how to play. That's not just clever, that's marketing mastery. In July 2025, Squid Game Season 3 exceeded expectations, with 60.1 million views in just 3 days and over $900 million in revenue. It didn't just break records, it redefined them. Hwang Dong-hyuk didn't create a dystopia. He uncovered the one we're already living in. And now, where does the game go next? Let me know in the comments. What character, theory, or behind the scenes should I dive into next?